And welcome back to the Integrated Media Center here on the campus of Geneva College. I'm Chris Matthews, the Sports Information Director, and today we're joined by Jimmy Leichliter, the Student Athlete of the Week, who also happens to be the PAC Basketball Player of the Week after you averaged almost 20 points and 10 rebounds and 3 victories for Geneva last week. So congratulations on that award.
Thank you.
I know you're kind of a veteran of this hot seat, so we will try not to repeat any questions that we've asked you in the past, but I'm curious. You're 6'7", right?
Yes.
You're about the tallest player on the team, and yet you're a pretty prolific three-point shooter. I'm curious, growing up, how you developed that outside game, especially when it seems like taller kids often get told to get inside and play on the low blocks, but you've certainly developed a pretty strong outside game.
Yeah, it wasn't until junior year of high school that I was actually allowed to shoot the basketball. Before then, it was just rebound and pass it to a guard. So junior year, coach just realized that I could shoot a little bit, so it kind of sprung off from there.
Went from there. Well, that's good. I think you're leading the conference in three-point attempts or three-point shots made, so you're obviously doing something right. And so along that lines, I'm curious, in the Waynesburg game on Saturday, you hit a three-pointer right before half that was about 6 or 7 feet behind the line. Do you have a range you feel comfortable out to, or maybe a better question is there a range which Coach Jeff feels comfortable you shooting out to?
It's just mostly in the moment. Usually, you can ask any of my teammates, usually my feet are pretty close to the line, but it's just in the moment. There was 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and I felt like I could hit it, so I shot.
Yeah, it went right in. You looked pretty comfortable there from beyond NBA range. So I want to go back a week and a half to the Grove City game, a game you guys ended up losing in overtime, but there was the situation late in that game with about 10 seconds to go. You guys were down 2. You called a timeout, and you ended up hitting a three-pointer with a second and a half left. Unfortunately, there was a foul that on the inbounds pass that sent it to overtime. Grove City hit a free throw. But I'm curious what the conversation was in that huddle. Did they drop a play specifically for you to shoot a three-pointer, or is that just the way that the play developed?
We were talking about it in the huddle, and everybody on the team said that they wanted to go for the win. So we ran one of our out-of-bounds plays, and the ball ended up in my hands, and it went off from there.
I guess if Geneva's there to shoot a three-pointer, you're probably the one they want to have
usually
in your hands. You've got Westminster tomorrow night, pack the gym night. So for our viewers, if you want to come out and see the basketball teams, tomorrow night would be a good night. For alumni and fans, that's a pretty big rivalry. I'm curious, as a player, is that something you look forward to? Are there teams you specifically identify before the season that you look forward to, or is it just sort of the next game on the schedule?
Coach always hypes it up big for Westminster, so we like to come out and play hard for them, but for us, I think it's just another game, and we want to look for another win.
All right. Well, we've been finishing these interviews with a segment I'm calling the Final Four. It's 4 quick questions. You're a basketball guy. You're familiar with the term Final Four. Just give me the first answer that pops into your head, all right? So at Alex's, if you could only eat at one food station for the next week, which one would you choose?
The cereal bar.
Cereal bar, big cereal bar guy. All right. Well, I'm kind of a new guy here at Geneva, so I appreciate the insight on that one. Now, I looked up what your career high was here at Geneva. Do you know off the top of your head?
I do not.
I think it's 30 points your sophomore year, so you're probably not going to know the answer to the second part of this. I'm curious if you know what your high school career high was before you got here.
One game I had 38.
Oh, okay. So you're at least in the 30s here, so that's a pretty good game, 38. If I walked over to your dorm room right now, would it be more on the messy side or more on the clean side?
Clean. We're pretty clean guys.
All right, nice. And last question is, if you could only choose one, Instagram or Snapchat?
Snapchat.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Jimmy. Again, congrats on not only the Student Athlete of the Week nomination, but also the PAC Player of the Week for the conference. That'll do it for this edition of Student Athlete of the Week. Until next time, storm on.